Let's begin seated. If you want to be sat up onto a block. Any requests of things in particular to get moving? A bit of everywhere. Yeah, good. All right. I feel like I jinx it if I don't ask, then there'll be someone going, please come in. All right, lift the shoulders to your ears. Take a deep inhale. And roll them back and down with your exhale. And again, inhale, lifting shoulders. Hold, then draw the shoulder blades together. And exhale, slide them down. And one more time, inhale, shoulders rise. Hold and squeeze. And exhale, slide them down. So collarbones feel broad, the chest feels open, and the weight of the head just lightly balanced at the top of the spine. Now use that space through your torso to breathe in as much space as you can, so breathing wide, breathing to the front, and breathing to the back. Feel the full circumference of your torso as you breathe. Maybe you feel the chest move mostly. You encourage more of the lower ribs to move. Encourage the sensation of your breath to come right down towards the sit bones. And imagining the breath carries that light to it as it comes in through the nose, where it can light up into the body. And let's try to articulate that. So we're bringing the breath, this light of the breath, a bit more of a kriya, this cleansing through the system. So if you imagine the breath coming in through the nose with the light, and it travels all the way down through the torso to the sit bones. And as you exhale it gently with control, flushes back up the torso and out through the nose, shining up to the crown of the head as it releases. And inhale comes in through the nose, down the torso towards the sit bones. And exhale presses it back up and out through the nose. It's in through the nose, down the torso to the sit bones. And exhale coming up the torso and out through the nose. Let's slow it down a little so the breath is around 5 seconds. We inhale through the torso, down to the sit bones. Let it linger. As exhale, we wash it back up and out through the nose. Keep the visual. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Couple more rounds. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. And take a long inhale. Holding the breath. And this next one, we'll hum the breath out just for as long as the breath can last. Breathing in. Again, humming the breath out. As you continue to hum, try to feel the sense of vibration move through the body. So see how low you can feel the vibration, how high you can feel the vibration around the back of the head, the crown of the head. When it empties, we'll repeat one more round. I'll take another deep breath in through the nose, lift tall. And a sigh through the mouth as you release. Bring the hands towards your heart center. Maybe there is a sankalpa, some intention or dedication to your practice this morning, something that needs to move through you, either to release or to bring into your day. Or maybe it's just a curiosity that the practice might bring some intention to you as you become more clear and more conscious of what we need today. Whatever shows up, let's interlace the fingers together there and press the palms forwards to stretch through the hastabandha of the hands. Tuck the chin. Now keep pressing through the arms to spread the back of the heart and the shoulder blades. As you inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling, palms press high, and then bring the clasp of the hands around the back of the head so thumbs find the ridge of the skull. And then use the thumbs, lift the crown of the head up a little bit taller and let the shoulder blades soften down away from the head. And take another breath in here at center, and we'll twist around to the right as you exhale. So left elbow reaches forwards. As you inhale, come back through the center, lift the back of the head, and exhale, twisting around the other way. So right elbow reaches forwards. And inhale again, coming front. And same again, twisting round to the right. And inhaling front. And round to the left. Inhale back to the front again. A little more side bend over to the right this time. So left elbow lifts up to the ceiling. Inhale, lift back up through the center, lift the back of the head. Exhale, hinging across the other way. Good. And one more either side. Inhale, lifting. Exhale to hinge. Good. Inhale, lifting. And exhale to hinge. Inhale, lifting, and lift the sternum up to the ceiling like your cat and cow movement through the spine. Your exhale rounds the elbow forwards, tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale, bring the elbows out, lift the sternum. And exhale, rounding the other way, elbows reaching forwards. And two more, inhaling. Exhale. Good. Inhaling. Exhaling. Now take the hands forwards to the floor in front of you, just walking them out. So we come into a little fold over the legs. With the legs crossed one way in front of the other, just noticing maybe one hip, feeling that a little bit more, one side of your back, feeling that a little bit more. Maybe the shoulders can soften out of the situation. The weight of the head drop a little heavier, maybe that space around the back of the neck lengthens. As you breathe, can you feel the breath move into the back of the ribs, the back of the lungs? It's waking up this more dormant place of the lung capacity. Walking the hands over to the right side. So maybe the chest leans over that right knee just as far as it feels good to go. And walk a little bit further away through the left hand. So that arm pulls the back of the ribs open a little bit more. And stay really heavy through the left sit bone at the same time. So hips are keeping you anchored and the arm is giving you the space. And taking those fuller feeling breaths into that left side of the body. Maybe the left shoulder can get a little bit heavier towards the ground. Good. Using your breath like it's stretching and massaging all the internal structure of the body. And let's walk the hands across to the other side. So we're extending this time through the right arm as long as it can go, and then root into your seat of the right sit bone. Stay anchored with the space, we're grounded with the space. Let the breath then do the work from the inside. And slowly bring the torso all the way back up straight again. And if you're sat with the legs crossed, let's just change the cross of the legs so the other one is in front. So it's only a small difference, but we'll make a slightly different angle into the hips. So again, we'll walk the hands forwards out in front of you. So you bow the head towards the ground. The outer part of the shoulder blades soften in towards the ground. So elbows feel heavy. And we'll walk the hands over to the left side. And right arm reaching out and staying heavy through the right sit bone. Let the breath open out. Maybe second time round, it might feel like there's a little bit more room. Now sweeping the arms across to the other side. Reaching longer through the left arm, heavier through the left sit bone. And reaching the breath into that whole left side of the ribs. And bringing the hands back up to the center. So spine comes tall, lift the shoulders round your back, and we'll take the fingertips to interlace behind you. So your knuckles just pressing down towards the floor and then towards the back of the mat. So open out the front of the shoulders and the chest without there being any force or too much pull to it. So not enough to restrict the breath in any way, but just encouraging that opening again. Maybe the chin lifts so the throat feels more open. Staying long in the back of the neck at the same time. So just a lengthening and lift. And feel the breeze of your breath open out into your throat. And then gently releasing the arms back out in front of you. Come over to an all fours position from here. So sweep the feet underneath. Take any blocks or anything out to one side. And palms under the shoulders. Let's turn the fingers out to face the outer edges of the mat. So palms are really stretched out. And then a few rounds of a cat and cow. So the inhale is lifting you to back bend. And the exhale is pressing your back up to the sky. Inhale into back bend. And exhale, pressing your back to the sky. Inhale into back bend. Exhale, pressing up. Hold that shape of your spine. We switch the breath. So staying here as you inhale. And then exhale, sink your way through to the back bend. Twice more the same. So inhale, press the back of the ribs up. Exhale, sinking through to back bend. And one more the same. Inhale, pressing up. And exhale, rounding back again. Now tuck the knees a little bit closer towards each other underneath you. We walk the hands forwards to come into a puppy stretch. So arms reaching as far away as they can reach in the chest, heavy then towards the earth. And maybe the forehead finds the ground. You can take a block under the forehead if that's more comfortable, or just let it float. And take the heart space reaching down towards the earth, like it's trying to reach roots towards the earth. And pressing down through the little finger edge of your hands might just broaden out the scrunching around the shoulder blades. The back of the neck might give a little bit more space. And while your hands are reaching forwards and pressing into the mat there, pull the sit bones back away from the hands. You get that sense of tractioning through the body. And push down into the floor through your shins or the front of the ankles. So you might feel that switch on the glutes, giving you a little bit more of an active stretch, a bit more strength coming into it too. A bit more support that we build. And take a long inhale where you are. As you exhale, press into the palms to rise again. Bring the hands back under the shoulders and just give them a little wriggle if they need to. Rounding and shaking. Let's tuck the toes and come straight into downward facing dog from here. So still using that opening of the shoulders you've just found Have a bend into the knees and step the feet open, maybe a little bit wider than your usual downward facing. Have the big toes turning in towards each other and the heels out, and then guiding the heels towards the ground. So by no means having to press into the floor, but just guiding them out and down. And sit bones lifting, and then maybe creating that sense of squeezing them towards each other again. So the glutes are on for this first down dog. Notice if that just changes the sensation that we're used to. Using the glutes as though they're pulling the spine up longer towards the ceiling, telescoping the hips high. Take a deep inhale through your nose and then let your neck relax as you sigh the breath out. Let's take that again, inhaling through the nose. And relax the neck as you sigh out. And lift onto the tiptoes as you breathe in and bring the knees slowly towards the ground as we exhale back into all fours again. Sliding the left leg back behind you, breathing in. As you exhale, take the knee around towards your left elbow. Squeeze the muscles of the side of the body. Inhale, send the foot back long behind you. Again, exhale, same elbow. It comes round to the left. Lift it up a little bit higher if it can. Good. Inhale, reaching it back. Exhale, one more the same. So elbow. Inhale, reaching it back, and then bring the leg all the way around to the left side. So take that inner thigh extension. I love this move. So little toe edge of the foot pressing into the ground, and then lift the left arm up to the sky. Let's hold on this first one. Let the weight of the arm draw back behind you so it opens your chest up. So sternum lifts towards the ceiling. And let the weight of the head soften into it. That might be gaze looking up. It might be gaze looking down. Whatever your neck feels most relaxed right now, wherever the throat feels easy. So we keep this communication clear between the head and the body. And let the breath move through from the nose into the body like we washed through the Kriya earlier. And take an inhale where you are. As you exhale, we thread the arm underneath the right shoulder. So you come into a gentle spiral, go slow on this first couple. Inhale, lift the arm back up again. Find that full opening as far as it wants to go. And exhale again, threading under. Let's take 2 more breaths with that. So we inhale to open. And exhale, sweeping through. Inhale to open. And exhale, sweeping through. Now lift the arm back up to the ceiling again and find that puppy stretch again. So both arms are reaching out, leave the legs as they are. So arms walking forwards, heart space rooting towards the earth, and keeping the weight pressing through that little finger edge of the hand. So maybe this time even the palms turn to face each other. So you're just resting on that little finger edge. Good. And then think the outer shoulders, outer armpits sinking a little bit heavier to the ground and a slight tractioning of them coming back towards your body. Good. And lift in through the lower belly. If you press down through the right shin, like we did earlier, you might feel that switch on the glutes and pull up through the lower belly a little. And turn the palms flat to the ground and begin to rise up through the shoulders again. Bring the hands underneath you. And then taking this left leg back behind you. So it's floating straight back behind. Flexing the foot so toes point down. Hips are level, press through the arms. We take a breath in, and as you exhale, squeeze the heel towards your sit bones. You feel the hamstring curls, so the hamstring switching on. Inhale, kick the heel back and behind you again. Go long through the leg. As you exhale, squeeze the heel towards the sit bone. Lower belly stays lifting, so it's not a back bend. Good, inhale. Let's do one more the same. Exhale, squeezing the heel back. Good. Inhale, send the toes down to the back of the mat and spin open towards that left long edge of the mat. So you're going to come into a supported side plank, left arm lifting high. Press the hips forwards and the sternum slightly looking up to the sky. And again, weight of the head heavy, wherever the neck feels long and easy to breathe. An option to stay here or lift up through that left foot, so it's floating. Option to stay here or bend the knees. You hamstring curl again. Left hand maybe grabbing hold of the shoelace bit of the foot. Good. Squeeze the heel towards the sit bone and then press the hips forwards again so you open out into the front of the thigh, getting that quad stretch into it. So while the legs might have just dialed up a little bit of noise, can you keep the head soft, the jaw soft? Notice where else in your body responds when there's other resistances through the body. Can you be in the same pose, less effort, less struggle? On your next breath in, lengthen the leg back out behind you again. Let's unravel slowly back in towards an all fours position. Give that right wrist a little release if it needs to. And then tuck the toes and let's come back into downward facing dog again. So hips high. And we'll come through a gentle vinyasa this time before the next side. So as you inhale, roll forwards to your plank position, pausing for a moment in that lengthened body. Exhale, bring the knees to the ground, gaze forwards as you softly bring the body into the ground. Hands sliding out in front of you. Let's take a few rounds of cobra, maybe palms to the floor or fingertips to the floor, really exploring just whatever your familiar practice sort of wants your shoulders to move, whatever gives your spine a bit of flow this morning. Keep adjusting the position of the hands to wherever it might feel good. Maybe keeping it very low. Again, same move, less struggle. Hands come back under the shoulders when you're ready. We press through all fours and take it back through to child's pose. Really lengthening the back. And coming back into your all fours position, pausing there, sliding the right leg back behind you. Take a breath in. We exhale, bring the knee round to the right elbows, enough so you squeeze the side body on. Inhale, reach the leg back again. As you exhale, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, send the leg back. Exhale to the elbow. Inhale, send it back, and this time the foot comes round to the side, sole of the foot rests into the floor, so little toe edge presses down. Lift the right arm up to the sky, and we'll pause on this first moment so that weight of the arm draws that spaciousness across your chest, and let the weight of the head drop. Let the breath move from the nose right through to the sit bones. Opening space around the heart and that right side of the chest. And then take another big inhale where you are. And the exhale threads the arm underneath the left shoulder, finding a spiral. And we'll repeat about 3 more breaths. Inhale, open up as far as it feels good to open. Exhale, threading through all the way. 2 more. We inhale to rise, bring the space in. Exhale as you spiral. Inhale as you rise. And exhale to spiral. So lift the arm back up to the ceiling once more and then forwards out in front of you. Walk the hands out so you come into properly with the upper body, leaving the legs as they are. So you lengthen through inner thigh. Keep lifting the tailbone and press it down through the left shin. So a little bit of activation again through the glutes and the lower abs, the pelvic floor. Outer shoulder blade, rolling that little finger edge of the hands to the floor. We turn the palms to face each other. And find as much lengthening as you can between the fingertips and the sit bones. Breathe into that opening that you've just created. And slowly turn the palms back to the floor. And walk the hands back underneath your shoulders. Good. Sweeping the leg back behind you so it's floating. Flex the foot so toes point down, hips are level, and press through the arms. We inhale, exhale, hamstring curls, heel come to sit bone. Get it, inhale, reaching the foot back. Exhale, really draw the lower belly in as the heel squeezes. Good. Inhale, press through the arms, spread the shoulder blades. 1 more. Good. Exhale, squeeze the heel. Good. Inhale, reach the leg back, take the toes down to the floor, and we spin open to the right long edge of the mat. Right arm lifting up to your supported side plank. And again, maybe staying here, the hips pressing forwards, chest opening up. Maybe floating the right foot off the floor. Maybe grabbing a hold of the foot if it feels good to take that half bind. Good. Heel squeezes to the sit bone in that case. And then push the kneecap towards the back of the mat. Good. Thigh sort of parallel with the line of the floor. And hips pressing forwards. Soften the weight of the head, the jaw, the forehead. Take a breath. On your inhale, reaching the leg back out long again. And unraveling back into all fours, tuck the toes, come back into your downward facing dog, hips high, and just maybe noticing that little bit more opening through the body. We come through vinyasa again, so rolling forwards to plank. We inhale. Exhale, bring the knees to the ground, bring the whole body to the ground. Now take your cobras this time without the hands on the floor. Again, I don't mind if they're just hovering under the shoulders or down the sides of the body while your locust pose. Take a few rounds of a rise and fall. Also exploring whether the inhale as you rise or the exhale as you rise might feel better. There's pros and, well, no cons really. Pros and pros to both. A little bit more activation and strength for the spine. Good. Next time you come down, pausing, hands under the shoulders. We're pressing up to all fours and fold it back through child's pose to re-lengthen. Inhale, coming back into all fours, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog as we exhale. And lifting the right leg up towards the sky, pausing into it. And holding the leg with that reach up. Now onto the tiptoes as high as you can as you're on your supporting left foot. And then as you exhale, guide the heel back towards the floor again. Let's go again. Inhale, lifting onto the tiptoes, reach the right toes high. And exhale, heel towards the ground. Step through to between the hands this time. Lift it through if we need to. And back knee comes to the floor. So we've got a 90 degrees sort of angle with both legs. We inhale, lifting the arms up above your head. Drop the tailbone down and then press the front of the hips forwards until again you feel that opening through the quads, the left foot, so the left thigh. Push it down through the shoelace bit of your back foot, like it's digging into the floor. And then imagine front heel and back knee are trying to squeeze towards each other. So pull the front heel towards you. Take a hold of the left wrist and lift it up. As you exhale, reach across to the right side of the mat, taking a side bend and keep the hips then pressing forwards into it a little bit more, but keep the activation of the legs trying to squeeze towards each other. Good. On your inhale, we lift up, take the arms out to the sides, and then forwards out in front of you with the left elbow wrapping over the right one, holding onto alternate shoulders or finding your Garudasana arms. We inhale to lift the elbows, lift the chest to look up, and while the elbows are lifting, keep the shoulder blades softening down your back. No strain through the neck or the throat. Again, opting to be in this situation, in this pose, with less struggle. Where can you bring some ease? Can you bring your breath? Can you breathe into the back of the lungs, the back of the heart still? Nice. On your inhale, we're going to unravel the arms, reaching them back up to the ceiling. Exhale, take the hands down to the inside of your front foot. The right arm is going to lift straight back up to the ceiling for twisting lunge. Lift the right arm high. Good. Now, option to tuck the toes at the back and lift up through the back knee and really pull up through the kneecap, through the thigh, and lean a little bit more weight into your front foot. So that's holding you more than your hand is. Good. Just switch on the glute again, finding that more active opening. Can we soften the weight of the head? Same pose, less struggle. Where is your breath? Now take a breath in where you are, and as you exhale, bring the hand down to the inside of the foot, heel, toe, front foot open a little bit wider, and take left hand further forwards towards the upper corner of your mat. The back foot is going to roll onto the little toe edge. You're going to turn in towards that front knee. Keep the back leg active, but the little toe edge drops down to the ground. Good. Lift the right arm up to the ceiling again. So you've got a little bit more of a spiral. And reach the right hand to your back foot. The right foot at the back, the left foot. Good. Inhale, lift the hand back up to the ceiling and spiral it all the way down to the floor again, turning back through to lizard. You'll step it back into your downward facing dog. An option to pause here or come through the vinyasa with me. We inhale through to plank. Exhale, half or full chaturanga. Any gentle back bend of your choice, cobras or up dog. And exhale makes our way all the way back into downward facing dog. Again, however feels good to weave your way there. Take a breath when you land. Next inhale, we lift the left foot high. As the foot rises, we pause. Lift as high as you can onto the right tiptoes. And as you exhale, guide the heel downwards towards the ground. Again, inhale, pushing up to the tiptoes. Exhale, heel softens towards the ground. And one more time, inhaling. And exhale, we step the left foot through to between the hands, back knee coming down to the floor. Right angle with both legs. So inhale brings the arms up, holding them high. Drop the tailbone down and then press the front of the hips forwards. You welcome that quad stretch. Welcome it in. Push down through the back foot and then scrunch the front heel towards the back knee. So you're trying to squeeze the mat together again, waking up that hamstring underneath to a little bit more strength. Hold on to the right wrist. We inhale, lift the arm. Exhale takes our side bend. So we reach across towards that long edge of the mat again. And then guide the hips maybe a little bit further forwards. A little bit more space into the front of the hip. Breathing into that whole right line of the body. And our inhale lifts the arms back up, opening them out and wrapping them in front, right elbow on top this time, hugging the shoulders, or Garudasana arms. Reach the elbows up, so there's a gentle lift of the chest without there being any scrunch the shoulders, relaxing the shoulder blades down, soften through the throat, the jaw, breathing into the back of the heart, the back of the lungs. Keeping the legs strong and steady. And take an inhale as you slowly unravel the arms, reaching them up. Exhale brings the hands down to the inside of the front foot. We come to twisting lunge. So right hand stays down. Left arm lifting to the sky. And then option to tuck the toes and lift up through the back knee. Again, really pulling up strong through the thigh, like the back of that back knee is lifting to the ceiling. Good. Lean more weight into your left foot at the front there. So again, it just takes the pressure off that hand. Same pose, less struggle. Maybe that is in the wrist, maybe that is in your neck, maybe that is in the eyebrows or the toes. And take another inhale where we are. Exhale, bring the hand down to the inside of your front foot. Heel toe your front foot out a little wider and the right hand to the upper right corner of your mat. The back foot drops on the little toe edge. So you turn, we keep the back leg strong to support you. Left arm lifts to the ceiling again. And then reaching to the back foot so that the hips sink heavy towards the mat. You get that opening across that line of the body. Good. As you inhale, re-lift the arm and sweep it all the way back round to the floor to come through lizard. Step it back into your downward facing dog. Option again to pause here or child's or kneeling or come through the vinyasa. Inhale comes forwards. Exhale, we lower to the earth. Inhale, the heart is open. And exhale takes us back to your downward facing dog. Inversion, lengthening the spine, lengthening the back of the legs. Softening the weight of the head. You're thinking about why we repeat so much of this sort of downward dog shape in yoga. It's such a common posture. This feeling that we can cultivate in this sort of upside down shift of perspective, literally what we can see when we're upside down starts to change. A different sort of sense to the blood flow. You know, the blood has its science, it won't just tip upside down, but there's a feeling of bringing a little bit more blood at different parts of the body. It's tractioning through the spine and that lengthening of the hamstrings. So wake up the back of the body, which we seem to avoid. This area of the body we don't see, so we neglect a little bit. And also the sense of being quite in solitude when we're folded into ourselves. You're just looking inwards a little bit more, gives us a feeling or an opportunity to tune into this interoceptive awareness of ourselves. Right, upside down and just folded into our own body. Let's lift the right leg up towards the ceiling again. And as you exhale, stepping through to between the hands. This time we're going to come into a warrior one. So the back heel anchors to the ground. And then bring the arms forwards and up to the ceiling. And bring the arms out to the sides and interlace them together behind your back like we did at seated earlier. We reach the knuckles to the back heel, chest is open. And again, when we come into these back bends, can feel a little restrictive to the breath. So just come to the point that's struggle-free. The breath takes your priority. Opening the heart space. Opening the shoulders. This area of the body we stand when we want to feel more confident, more proud. And notice the tightness that it might hold around it. Let's take a breath in where we are. And as you exhale, we dive forwards, leading from the crown of the head and then down towards the inside of your front leg. So knuckles start to lift towards the ceiling. If it feels too much to keep the fingers interlaced, you just unlink them, but the fingertips reach to the ceiling instead. Now, is there a way you can adjust so the back of the neck feels a little longer? The jaw feels softer. The legs are strong to support you. The legs are a fundamental part of our breath. They hold us steady. So our nervous system and our diaphragm can do as they need to do. Now, staying low through the torso, release the arms down. Left hand is going to find the upper left corner of mat again. Coming back into that same variation we did earlier. So onto the tiptoes, the back foot, and then roll over to the little toe edge. The right arm draws a big semicircle forwards and up, and then reaching down to the back of the mat. Let the hips sink down, reaching through. Your inhale lifts the hand back up again, unravel it through to lizard pose, and we'll pause into it this time. Maybe back knee stays lifted or softens down to the floor, entirely up to you. So walk the hands forwards into lizard pose, and I think elbows getting heavy towards the ground, so arms on the inside of the leg, that's it. That's it. Elbows heavy, but then keep the crown of the head lengthening forward. So it's almost like your palms are pressing the ground, pulling the ground, sorry, towards you. So there's a little bit of tractioning forwards through heart space. Good. Lift up a little bit higher through the arms again. Bring the hands underneath you slightly further if it helps. So we're going to take the right hand off the floor, similar to how we did. We're going to reach the arm to the back of the mat. So you're turning. Maybe you pause here and the hips are heavy. If you want to grab a hold of the back foot, bending the knee to that hamstring curl feeling again. And the toes come towards you. Good. Again, same pose, less struggle. Tune in to see what needs adjusting. Notice where your breath can move. Can it get from the nose to the sit bone still? And slowly releasing a hold of that foot if you have it, unraveling, both hands down to the floor. Lift up through the back knee and then walking the hands around towards the long edge of the mat so you come through to your wide leg fold. Have the toes turned out to the outer corners of the mats and then bending into one knee and bending into the other. So you're swaying from side to side into it. Leaving the hips at the center, turn the toes inwards, heels turned outwards, like we tried in the downward dog earlier. Hands underneath the shoulders, or between the line of the feet, like you're resting onto a beam. While the shoulder blades are lifting, let the crown of the head get heavy. So again, the back of the neck feels long. And press your palms into the floor. So you are supporting yourself with your arms a little bit there too, just supporting the weight of the spine. Breathe into the back of the ribs, the back of the heart. Without adjusting the hands of the feet, press into the hands so the spine looks forward. So you're taking a half lift. We inhale. As you exhale, bow in a little bit heavier towards the legs. And then walk the hands around to the top of the mat again, unraveling the toes to point forwards. Step it back into your downward facing dog. Let's take a penultimate vinyasa if we wish to. So you're coming through to your plank. Exhale, any variation of chaturanga. Inhale brings the heart to open. And exhale again, we find this pose of inward reflection and solitude and tractioning for some space. So can we be here in this folding of opportunity of solitude and checking inwards without any struggle about it? The left foot lifts to the sky, we inhale. And exhale, stepping or lifting it through to between the hands, we come into warrior one. Hands rise as we breathe in. Bring the hands around to the sides of you and interlace them behind your back. Maybe the one finger differently so it feels like the weird way to link your hands. And then reach the knuckles back and the heart space open. And maybe second time round it feels a little bit more comfortable to breathe. Adjust it as we need to. So there's less force, less struggle, and more breath integrity. I'm going to take another inhale where you are, and as you exhale, lean the weight forwards, crown of the head reaching out, and then bowing down towards inner line of the leg. And relax the back of the neck, but keep the spine lengthening forwards. Legs are holding you steady to breathe. We take another breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands back to the floor on the inside of that front foot. So lift onto the tiptoes of back foot. Right hand nudges forwards and out a bit wider to support you as we turn towards that left leg again. So little toe edge rolls to the floor. Good, lifting up through the arm and reaching to the back of the mat. Lift up through the arm and back forwards towards the ground, holding lizard pose, keeping the back knee lifted or resting it down, up to you. Either way, arms walk forwards and again get heavy through the arms, almost like sort of turbo dog feeling through the arms again. And like your palms are pulling back towards you. Feel the chest reach forwards, the weight shift forwards. Good, holding. That subtle sort of shift of the pose, back knee softens down to the floor. And bring the hands underneath you a little bit further. The left arm is going to sweep up and reach back again, and maybe pausing there. You're still getting the quad stretch and hip stretch, or maybe you hamstring curl that back foot so it comes in towards your hand. And only taking that option as if it feels of benefit to your body this morning, if it serves you. Where can you then bring a sense of releasing struggle from the pose, from this moment? Notice where in the body grips that doesn't actually help us in any way. And slowly releasing the foot if you have it, bring the hands back to the floor. Step it back into your downward facing dog. And maybe pausing here or coming through a last vinyasa if you wish to, flowing it through. Good. Let's hold about 3 to 5 breaths. Reach up through the spine. And where in this inward reflection of solitude, can you bring a little bit more peace? A little bit more ease for yourself. Lift onto the tiptoes as you breathe in. And bring the knees down to the floor to all fours. Send the right arm up to the ceiling as you inhale from there. As you exhale, find the thread, the needle that we had earlier. So shoulder reaches through and let the side of the head fall down towards the ground. Slip a block under the head if that feels more comfortable. Feel the breath coming into the back of that right shoulder. And your left hand can either stay out in front of you or reach up to the ceiling or wrap behind you, or clasping the hands together is another variation. Wherever it feels, again, intuitively so beneficial for your body. You can reach that left leg back behind you so that whole left side feels a little bit longer. Okay, bring in that sense of play. The toe starts to float off the floor if you're feeling brave. Good. Can you still breathe? And slowly bring the toes back down to the floor. The knee comes back down to the floor. Unravel to come through to your puppy stretch, so both arms stay at the front of the mat and the heart sinks down. And pressing heavy through the front of your shins and the ankles. Again, turning to press into the little finger edge of the hands, palms turn to face each other, and then reach the fingertips further forwards. And then pull the armpits back towards your knees so the arms feel like they've just lengthened another 3 inches. And turn the palms back into the ground. So we lift up through the shoulders a little and hands come back underneath you. Left arm floats straight up to the sky as you inhale. And exhale straight through to your twist on the other side. So shoulder comes heavy, side of the head maybe resting to floor or block. And not necessarily getting to that end pose on breath one. Let the breath by breath take you in a layer deeper. So maybe adjusting the hand. Maybe your right leg lengthens back. Maybe it's floating. Maybe you're breathing. And slowly take the toes back to the floor, knee to the floor. Really nice. And again, slowly unraveling. Come back into puppy just one more time. This time with the little finger edge of the hands together, but the palms are together also. The elbows then drop heavy to the ground and fingertips maybe curling up to point to the ceiling, folding the hands softly around the back of the head. Again, just pausing at any sort of point of that variation that works enough for you. No point we're in struggle. My teacher, Anna Forrest, would say, when you're in a place of struggle, you are your most stupid self. Which kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. Leaving the arms exactly as they are. Can you use your hips to fold back a little bit further towards your heels, like you're trying to pull yourself through to child's pose? Maybe the heels even lifting up towards the sit bones, trying to get them to connect. Feel that tractioning and lengthening through the body. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, unravel the tension. Forearms coming back to the floor and lifting up through to a kneeling position. So either sat onto the feet or a higher kneeling if that works best for your knees. Give the shoulders a couple of rolls up to the ears and down your back again. And then if you're comfortable to stay at kneeling for a few more breaths, stay here. Otherwise, legs can come out in front of you. So just leave the arms heavy to your sides. Drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. And reach the right fingertips heavier into the floor, like trying to push the fingertips in. And roll the chin down towards your chest and then take it across to the other side and the left fingertips push into the floor. Now rolling the chin to the chest. If they aren't there already, cross the ankles or sweep the legs around in front so you come through to seated. Now let's take ourselves straight down onto our backs. So when we come down to the floor, bring the knees in towards you. So you take a rock side to side on your spine. Laying long and heavy through the back of the neck. Relaxing the jaw and the forehead. I reach the toes up towards the ceiling, let the arms just rest to your sides, either out in a cactus position or down at the sides of the torso. With your feet floating up, give the ankles a little rolls through, a few times going one way, and a few times the other. Taking just the left foot to the ground, the right ankle onto the left thigh, so you come into a figure of four shape with the legs. If they aren't there already, bring the arms to your sides so they're out in line with the shoulders, and then rocking the legs side to side a few times. Its arms so wide at your side, so going out along the floor like a T shape. Good. And make that rocking side to side as far as your back feels happy with. So maybe the toe comes to the floor and then the knee comes to the floor, or maybe you're keeping it quite small. Again, just using that self-awareness and what happens with the body, just moving in the range that is struggle-free. Bringing the legs through the center without using your hands. Bring the legs in towards you. Again, more of this active stretch. You're asking the legs to hold the work. So keeping that ankle on the thigh. Your next inhale, unravel the toes so they both reach up to the ceiling again. And take just the right foot down to the floor. Left ankle to right thigh, figure of four. And begin to rock the legs from side to side again. Just being mindful, one side might feel different to the other. Just listening in to the edges of the body that feels enough. It doesn't matter what your practice looked like yesterday, even just really tuning in with where your edges are this morning at this hour of the day on this side. Pausing back at the center, and without using the hands, bring the legs closer in towards you through that shape. So you have that left knee trying to press away from your torso, but the left ankle trying to come towards your torso. And take a breath in. And send the toes up to the sky once more as you exhale. And it might feel a little bit more comfortable to pause in this shape a few more breaths. If your hands then just pop underneath your tailbones, you're just supporting the sacrum in the back of the pelvis. So your the tailbone isn't resting onto the back of the hand, you're just supporting just underneath it. Give it a slight tilt to the pelvis. A soft bend into the knees, so the legs go a little bit more dangly, like they're just floating up in the air. Allow the eyes to close. So you feel the points when the blood starts to drain from the feet. Breathe into the back of the ribs. And then from now, you might want to stay here a few more breaths. When you feel the body start to come to a point of any struggle, let the toes float down towards the ground. And if they aren't there already, then bring the feet to the floor. And the hands anywhere they feel comfortable to be. Heel toe the feet open a bit wider and let the knees drop inwards to rest onto each other. Maybe tweeze the shoulder blades down your back a little ways so your heart space feels open. And maybe asking the jaw again to let go. Ask the brow again to soften. Maybe remind yourself of any sankalpa, any intention or dedication you set at the start of the practice. If it was just a sense of having curiosity, maybe the intention for the rest of the day is to be struggle-free. And that isn't just with our movements, that might be in connections we have with other people, in these situations that evolve, each stimulus that we come to. Maybe the response to it can be with less struggle. Maybe it's the food that we eat that gives our body ease rather than struggle. It's how we use our time today. Maybe it's just the perspective. Some things feel like a struggle, but we reframe it to, I get to. It feels like the same situation with less struggle. Noticing the moments that evolve, the opportunities we can transform. Lengthen the legs out away from you and the arms reaching back and behind you. Take a full body stretch. Maybe a sigh through the body or a yawn wants to come through. And gently scooping the knees in towards your body again, one at a time, giving yourself the hug and a rock side to side. And then maybe rolling to one side or taking a very gentle rock and roll back up to seated when you're ready. Let the hands just rest onto the legs. And find the easy height through the spine. And bring the hands then to your heart or on your heart space with the intention to move through the day struggle-free. Thank you so much for starting your Friday with me. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. I love